Good blessed Tuesday. It's about 12:01 midnight, after midnight, Tuesday, August the 17th, 2021. I'd like to greet all human beings all around the world with a universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. Hear this and hear this good, y'all. Because some people, some places, they don't respect this, what I'm about to say. I greet all of you all with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you, no matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. It doesn't matter if you're the richest or the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter whether you the proclaimed toughest to the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't even matter if you like me. You can give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down. You can talk about me. Most people talk about me. Some people said that they got a tree with my name on it. In other words, gonna hang me like they did my son down in Carbondale, Illinois on March the 19th, 2021. But it doesn't matter if you black or white. It doesn't matter if you big or small. I greet all you all with that same universal greetings. Tonight, I want to come to y'all for something that I want y'all to pay close attention to. All of you that's not biased, all of you that's not prejudiced, all of you that's not corrupted law enforcement officials or corrupted, period, listen to this and listen to it good. You see, I wasn't born in the South. My parents was. My dad, may he rest in peace. He was an honorably discharged World War II veteran. Him and my mother grew up in the Boot Heel, southeast Missouri. And this is a place that they didn't want to stay once they was grown. When my dad got out of the military, he took my mom's and they went up to Chicago and got married and had 9 of us. They didn't want to live down here where I'm living at right now. What I learned in the 25 years of living down here in Charleston, Missouri, and southeast Missouri, the Mississippi County, I learned that things haven't really changed since my dad and mom left, but I see why they left. You see what I'm saying? Racism is up and running, and the sad thing about it, the white supremacists put the black peoples in play in positions that they can control. They can't control me. That's why I had a lot of attacks here in Charleston, Missouri, and nothing done about it. Now, I'm fighting up against something that happened to my oldest child, my only son, Brian Lamont Johns, on Friday, March the 19, 2021, when he was found hung in Carbondale, Illinois. And I've been fighting against what happened to him ever since. Today would make 151 days. Originally, when the police sergeant, beat sergeant, not a CSI personnel, not an investigator, but a beat sergeant, found my son, what came on the scene when my son was hanging, him in the Jackson County Jackson County ambulance service. They called the Jackson County coroner in a deputy coroner who identified himself to me and my son's mother as being the Jackson County, Illinois coroner, but we found out later after investigation he was a deputy coroner. He wasn't a doctor. He was the one that pronounced my son dead, but he had already had pre-notions in his mind and in his decision already how my son died, and it would have been in his mind that my son committed suicide because he says in his report, he says it real clear, he was requested to come to 400 Oakland Street in the Gaslight Apartments in Carbondale, Illinois, in the hallway on the 3rd floor, where an individual hung himself. He said that's what they told him. He hung himself. But the only way that they could knew that he hung himself, if they seen him hang himself, he made a video when he was hanging himself, somebody else seen him hang himself, or somebody else videoed him. But none of that was there. They also told him that he used narcotics. But let me tell this. I contacted NAACP president, the female there in Carbondale, Illinois, on March the 24th, 2021, and told her that we don't believe my son committed suicide. She didn't contact the national chapter. She probably didn't even tell the national chapter because she didn't even tell the rest of the NAACP members. Just some of them knew about it, not all of them. But yesterday, on Monday, August the 16th, 2021, I seen her on the WSIL Channel 3 Southern Illinois News Channel talking about a law that's already been passed by the governor concerning not discriminating against people of color concerning the way they wear their hair. The governor already ruled and said that that wasn't constitutional, and he already rectified that. But she was talking about that. The news media gave her the time on that because they know she's a person that they put in position. When I say they, the white supremacists put her in position to say what they want her to say. You see, when I told her my son, I didn't believe my son hung himself, she just called and told the police what I told them. The police is the one is in this corruption. So if they in it and she just called them and didn't call the national chapter, that means she wanted the police to know what I was doing. But I'm not trying to hide nothing from the police. But let me tell y'all this here. Today, like I said yesterday on Monday, August the 16th, 2016, 15, she was on the news talking about this hair, but yet she never once, my son's death, they changed it from suicide from day one, from March the 19th to March the 25th, it was suicide. And then on March the 24th, I guess they changed their mind when I told them I don't believe my son committed suicide. And then on the 25th of March, they changed it to a death investigation. If it's a death investigation, you would think you want to try to get all the help that you can to find out how my son died. But the NAACP haven't gotten on any news channel, won't no news channel give me any coverage, won't no other group or any person that has a network. You see what I'm saying? In Carbondale, they won't get on there. They won't ask me. I asked to get on some of these programs so I can tell my son's side of the story, but all of them refused. But then I made a YouTube video showing them how this NAACP president is on the news last night talking about something that's irrelevant that the governor already have rectified, but she couldn't talk about my son's death. And I put it on all of my social internets in every group that I have that I'm in, but except the one that they banned me before in, which was Justice for Molly Young. They banned me saying that I was taking control over the top of their thing where my posters was dominating, which I wasn't trying to do that. All they had to do was tell me I'm putting too many in. Then I put one in last night that most of you all see, and it's talking about the NAACP president in Carbondale. And when I put it in, it was immediately removed. And then I get something telling me the same thing the Justice for Molly did, told me that I was banned. from making comments or posts until August the 23rd of 2021. That's with the What the F Carbondale group. When the 23rd come, I'm not going to post no more in. I'll stay in until they just remove me, if they want to just remove me. But I'll just stay in. But other people is wondering why they can't see my other posters. Well, you need to ask the administrators, because I posted on one of my things to show that administrator removed me, but they didn't tell me why they removed me. But I know why they removed me. It's because I talked about this black woman that's the president of the NAACP, who can talk about something that the government already done solved, but can't talk about something that ain't been solved yet, and that's my son being lynched. She talk about how colored people is being treated in 2021, but she ain't talking about how a colored man, a black man, was hung, lynched, had blunt trauma to his ribs, had blood on his pants front and back, had blood on his gym shoes, had a cut so deep on his left hand that it was reaching the tendons, had trauma, blunt trauma to his lips, to his head, money balled up in his hand, drugs apparently in his socks. But she don't see that's worthy, and the people that I guess run the group, one of the administrators or all of them got together and they banned me from putting it in. But they ain't hurting me. I got a group that's called Justice for Brian Lamont Johns, something that group or the leaders in Carbondale don't recognize. You see, my son was on drugs. My son was homeless. My son was black. My son had been to prison. So those leaders in those groups that don't try to help me try to get justice, they think they hurting me because they got these organizations, but it don't matter. You can put me out, but you can't put me off of my YouTube channel. You can't put me out of my group, and you can't get me out of my social internet. Martin Luther King said it real good. He said to get enemies, you don't have to declare war. All you have to do is say what you think. You see, I'm an individual that say what I think. You see, because even though I don't believe in the forefathers that made these laws for this country, but I do stand on the First and the 14th Amendment right. I see all these other posters in there. What the F Carbondale, in the other group that abandoned me. But then when I'm talking about racist whites, sellout blacks, news medias that's tied to SIU, then they banned me. But you can keep on banning me. You can incarcerate my body, but you can't incarcerate my mind. I want y'all to share this here. Ask them, why did they remove that? And ask them, no, don't even ask them, y'all. God will answer that for us. Peace be still.